Hello, everyone, to the 66th Staros Town Hall. We skipped one because of reasons, which were probably just people not being available to present anything. But we'll have some stuff for you today. We're going to start with some updates from PeopleOps. They're going to be presented by Simona. Let me mute her.
Guys, I think it's Theodore is doing PeopleOps.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Simona. Thanks, Simona.
No worries.
I thought you wanted to add something, and I was just waiting for you to kind of jump in. But yeah, I'm okay to pick up the conversation for people operations. So what we would like to talk about on this town hall session is just say a massive congrats to Jonathan Zera. Johnny has been leading marketing for the past 3 years with Status. We also want to say congrats to Michel Ballisteri for the past 3 years as well. That's an awesome coincidence, guys. He has been an engineer for Keycard and has helped develop the Keycard vision and bring it to the masses. Jakob, could we move to the next slide, please? So in terms of hiring updates, Status is looking for a few people at the moment. I think what is important for us is Nimbus and VAX. So we're continuously looking for distributed networking engineers, for protocol engineers, people that love working on peer-to-peer protocols that aim to minimize centralization. So for VAC, protocol engineers will play around at all levels of the stack, including transport protocols, peer-to-peer overlays, and routing. With Nimbus, the team is working on translating the latest Ethereum 2.0 research, like bonding curves, BLS signatures, randomness games, and put them into practical performant and reusable libraries. We need a Clojure script engineer to help develop or further develop Keycard and iOS integrations. The finance team is looking for an accountant that has his head around crypto. So aside from daily accounting, reconciliation, classification of expenses, taxes, and so on, this person would play around with crypto payments, would have to do accounting for crypto assets, basically someone that understands the industry and can understand how to translate crypto to fiat and the other way around. Also, Team dApps is looking to revamp the project. So we need someone, an architect that doesn't call himself an architect. Although this is strange, this person would propose new features for dApps and would get involved in the direction of the project. Passing on to core, I think, or finance.
Let's see what's next. Yeah, I believe the next slide is going to be core, and it's going to be presented by Andrea.
Yeah, hi, thank you very much. So just an update on core development. So what we did in the past month, essentially. So we have finalized the work on mentions. We have private group chats invite links so that you're able to basically send an invite to someone who does not have an app. He's going to install it and then he's going to see it. You're going to be able to join their private group chat. We finalized the work on remote iOS notifications, which are going to currently sort of in beta. They will be out with 1.7. And we also worked on local nicknames. And as you probably know, there was with some issues with spam. So there was a fair amount of firefighting involved to make sure that the cluster was okay and so on and so forth. And definitely we noticed some issue with that respect. So we have a planned release, which is 1.7 that it's been cut. So far the testing has been doing fine, no blockers. So hopefully we'll push it forward and soon it'll be the Play Store and test flight. So what we're going to be working on next is basically like moderated public chats, which is what we refer to also as organizational channels. That's something that we decided to push because also the spam, because it's essentially giving us a way to have moderated chats. We're also going to be working on local notification for transactions. That's for both Android and iOS, so that you're notified locally when a transaction is received. Then as well, we're working on profile status updates, which is basically sort of like a bit of a social media feature where user will be able to push out basically updates on their profile and people will be able to follow. And also link and fair link. So essentially like you will be, if someone publishes a link in a public chat or in a private chat, you're going to be seeing a preview. And that's all from core. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to have some updates from Yuri on the desktop project.
All right, so we launched desktop last week, the first official beta version. We had released 5 alphas before, if you had been if you've seen in the discuss post, but this is the first proper beta that we're pushing to the public. And from now on, hopefully there's be more updates in the town hall about the progress of desktop and future releases. So in terms of the stack, I'll just put in here a very brief description of the stack in case anyone wants to contribute. So at the top of the stack is status go. Then there's nim status in the middle as a sort of a shame layer currently between the two. We make use also of this libraries nim QML, and the other side, we have our own forks that we fix some things as well as added some functionality that it's specific to our software. And then finally we have the desktop client, that nim status client. Most of the code is actually QML, and then there's some also nim code. A lot of that nim code will eventually be moved to nim status. And you can find the README. This is still a work in progress, but this README, we have a lot of documentation that you can read this documentation and hopefully feel comfortable to contribute. It not only describes the architecture, it also has some tutorials in case you want to add a new section or you want to change this, exactly what you have to do to do that. Then next slide, you can see here just a screenshot about the chat. So the chat currently has a full feature parity pretty much. So from public channels, private chats, group chats, we have the emojis, the stickers. You can purchase stickers. You can send and receive images. You have the chat commands to send and receive funds, mentions, usernames. Also have internationalization support. We have notifications. Teams. We have also works offline. Contact management, markdown support, emojis, probably already said emojis, local usernames, you name it. Only thing that's kind of missing still is you cannot record voice message, although you can play them. That one is still in progress. Then next up, we also have the, if you could, next slide, please. We also have the wallet. So the wallet is currently hidden, so you actually have to go to the settings to really enable it because it needs some further testing. But it also has the same like feature parity, so you can not only receive and send and receive AT and other ERC20 tokens. You can also see your collectibles, transaction history. You can generate accounts. You can import accounts. Add accounts, which is what's recommended right now, perhaps to use. You can add watch-only accounts. And of course, you can also generate the QR codes and configure what tokens you actually want to be present in your wallet, want to be visible in your wallet. Then the next slide, also have the settings, and here's the tip. If you like the dark mode, I know a lot of people like that kind of more dark theme, then you can go to the settings appearance and enable it. We also have another one that is the compact mode, which I'll show it soon in the next slide. And in the profile, you can also do other things. You can change the language. You can enable, disable audit tabs, sync devices too, and among other things, from configuring notifications to the contact management. And here's an example of all the dark theme looks like, and also the dark mode. So dark mode makes it a bit more like you would expect in other apps like Slack or Discord. So it's a bit more compact, makes more use of the space. So that's an optional thing that you can enable or disable in the settings. Then next slide, apps. So up next, we'll work in the browser. Initially, we actually removed the browser, but we decided that actually the depth browser is very much part of the status experience. So we are re-adding it. So it should be maybe even in the next release or so. It's currently being worked on. And next also I'll be analyzing and adding plugins and extension support. There's a Discuss post about this. So if you have ideas for what you would like to see in the plugin API, please comment in that post. And also we're adding a tab for the node management over a status node. And finally, if you want to try the new desktop, please go to status.im/get and you can download it. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you very much. Next up, we'll have some infrastructure updates about security this time around. Some major desktop changes we've been having are Windows continuous integration builds. This is almost done. We have Windows hosts that can be provisioned easily, so we can have multiple identical build environments. The CI builds work. They just need some polish to get into the master branch of the status client, so that should happen sometime this week. We also had some issues with iOS signing, but that's nothing new because Apple loves breaking signing. And that has been resolved sometime around 1.6.1. But out of major updates, we had an upgrade to Terraform 0.13, which enables quite a lot of cool things. For example, we have a new way of managing secrets using a provider in Terraform that directly accesses secrets in our password store without the need for hacky makefile scripts. So that's nice. We also have some new hosts for Nimwaku test fleet. V2 is being tested there. I've been doing some debugging on the Nimbus fleet because we've been having some outages caused by most probably high network usage, but it's not fully confirmed yet. Still fighting with it. There's been also issues with status D nodes not fully seeing IPs of clients. And we're trying to resolve that. We actually use port for free for connections to essentially avoid various firewalls in public Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But that's not something that I think is supported by Go Ethereum by default, and it causes issues. And we're trying to make that work by essentially making status D listen on that port rather than redirecting with firewall rules. But that's tricky. So still working on that. We've had a lot of updates to our site. This includes our Status.im blog post and the main site, and this coincides with the desktop release, as you've seen from the screenshots from the new Get page, which includes desktop. And we also have a bunch of updates and documentation related to the Terraform updates and various providers for Terraform that have changed. So that's pretty cool. That's most of it for our infrastructure. Thanks. Next up, we'll have marketing and Simona as correctly right now, not before.
Yes, it is me. It is me. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. We are in the middle of, I guess, the final few events that are happening towards the kind of running to the tail end of the year. We've got the HCPP Congress happening this weekend, and I'm going to mention some of the activations that we have running for that over the weekend just coming up. We've got Corey has been in action for these past few weeks. He did a great chat, a great talk at LifeChain, all about the lessons from the future of work, and a lot of talk on security, obviously. He's also chatting today at Money Dance, powered by Avalabs, on sovereignty and the transformation of online security. So check that out, and we'll share the live stream, the link, and any takeaways from that. Then we have ETH Online again kicking off this weekend. I will be judging and mentoring during that hackathon, so I will bring you any interesting insights and any status use during that hackathon. We're also prepping for the Vancouver Biennale that is gearing up for November. We have a few interesting engagements planned up, and we are working with Jessica Angel, who is one of the key artists exhibiting at the event, both online and offline later on in the year and next year. So stay tuned for all of those interesting engagements. Next slide, please. We have had some very exciting updates and activity over in Brazil. We have had a few influencers, Cryptomaniacos, and also Bruno Hermano. They have been sharing and talking about status pretty much in a lot of their weekly updates, just generally on crypto. And we have had some very, very high views and interactions. I think we're pulling just under 200,000 views on their videos that have been mentioning status in the past few weeks. So that is very exciting. Bruno as well is planning some Instagram live sessions. So that'll be exciting. It's great to see crypto going across so many different social channels. So again, we'll keep you posted on those as they evolve. But yes, Brazil is pretty much loving status. So that's good. Next slide, please. We've also been looking as a team at all of the different points where we essentially are seeing activity within the app, both at a onboarding level where we have all of these videos shared by so many interesting people in so many different regions, and we're really trying to understand what is working and what keeps people engaged. So we've been looking at the levels of activity daily, the levels of sustained activity within the app across all of the different events that we have had. So we have the influencer videos, but also we had the spam attack that happened a couple of weeks ago. So really kind of trying to understand the behavior of our users. So hopefully we will figure out the sweet spot so that we can get more people using status. Next slide, please. And then upcoming, we have the referral program that's rolling out with our ambassadors. We have the influencer program, like I mentioned, with Brazil, but also Argentina. So that's coming up. Product campaigns, we obviously launched desktop. That's going really, really well. And we're looking forward to a lot of very constructive feedback from our users regarding the dual use of the app, both on desktop and mobile. So we'll keep you posted on those. Spam prevention, we have a post coming up about all of the different measures that we have taken, all of the different considerations that we continue exploring to mitigate spam within the app. So keep an eye out for that. And then again, testing, evergreen campaigns, and so on. Those are all upcoming and ongoing. Next slide, please. And then with regards to community, ambassadors, we will have an update from Jinho next town hall, where we are wrapping and doing, the final wrap up of Q3. So keep an eye on the ambassador figures and stats for that. For community, we have current ecosystem activations. We have the Aave sticker competition that is ongoing. We're already receiving some really interesting and very some funny, some very, very good sticker submissions. So we'll hopefully have those ready for the Aave team to judge and also for the community to vote on very, very soon. The Aave AMA is happening this Wednesday on the 30th at 10 a.m. EST. We will be sharing all of that via Twitter, so you'll be able to submit your questions for Stani from Aave. So keep an eye on that. We will tweet that out and share it in the channels today, so you have enough time to submit those questions. The HCPP speaker AMAs, as I mentioned, are happening over the weekend to coincide with the event. Again, we will be sharing those so that you can submit your questions and the speakers can hopefully address them. And we have the our AMA with Vitalik coming on Thursday, the 8th of October. So mark that in your calendars, 10 a.m. EST. We will again give you enough time to submit your questions for Vitalik. And we're really, really excited about that one. Our Gitcoin partnership, we kickstarted that. It's a much, much bigger and broader partnership, but we kickstarted it with the featuring of Gitcoin grants within dApps. So if you go in the dApps browser, you will see Gitcoin grants round 7 right at the top. And we have enabled contributions on the go, including layer 2 checkout with ZK Sync. I've done 3 rounds of contributions, all via Status. I encourage you all to do the same. It really is a very, very smooth flow on the go. So we'll be tweaking that and making that even easier. So that's exciting. And then we'll make announcements of the next stages of that partnership very, very soon. We have a few educational initiatives that we've been working on for a while, and I'm very, very excited about them. We have an Aave DeFi course, which is launching very soon. We have been working on it and just putting final touches on it. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to launch that next month. So that'll be very, very interesting. It's essentially a guide on how to DeFi responsibly, introduction to DeFi and so on, so that we can do a lot of the DeFiing within the Status app. So that's exciting. We also have a development and financial literacy course that we are working on in partnership with the Blockchain Academy Brazil. This is again something that will be rolling out probably a little bit closer towards the end of the year, but it is something that is very, very exciting, and it will blend a lot of education with a lot of practical exercises for students to undertake. So we'll be launching that very, very soon. Like I said, and we'll keep you updated. And then we have crypto and DeFi courses happening in Colombia. Status will be there as the gateway to Ethereum. And we also have a Udemy course, which will launch, I think it is towards the end of, in October. And we're expecting about 80,000 students for that one. So very, very cool opportunity for Status to be the, again, gateway to Ethereum. And upcoming events, as I mentioned, we have HCPP over the weekend and then ETH Online throughout October. So very, very busy. Thank you, everyone.
Cool, thank you. I don't think we have any questions this time around, so that's going to be it. Thanks everyone for presenting. See you in 2 weeks, I guess.